Hey, this is Rick Brandenburg for North Carolina State University and Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll, and really happy to have Caleb back this summer. And he's going to be working with developing some new videos for us, and he's got a whole bunch of new special effects. And I know the camera's a little too far away for you to see what he's doing here, but I think as we go through the summer, you'll notice some special effects that are pretty cool that he's figured out how to do, and hopefully it'll make the presentation a little bit better. So we're going to roll with the next video here in just a few seconds, and hope that's helpful to you, and look forward to having a good summer with Caleb here and giving us lots of good educational videos. So watch this next video, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks. Hi, this is Rick Brandenburg for Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll at North Carolina State University. And a few weeks ago I put a video up talking about something we'd seen at a golf course in Puerto Rico where it had been dry and we got a little rain and the birds came in. It's because the grubs moved to the surface. And the dry period has continued here in Puerto Rico back again, and there's still a real absence of rainfall so far this year. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about dry weather and it impacts insects. All winter we talked about cold weather and as it impacts insect populations. So now I want to talk about dry weather. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to talk about soil insects like fire ants and mole crickets and white grubs. And as a general rule of thumb, you can say that dry weather is not favorable to soil insects. Some insects, such as mole crickets, can adjust when they mate and lay eggs and basically save them for a period when rainfall begins. But other insects, such as most white grubs, don't really have that flexibility. So for the most part, really dry conditions have a negative impact on soil insects. Either delays their populations or reduces the number of eggs that survive the dry soil and actually hatch, and then we get some mortality right after they hatch. So, but don't think that for a minute that because you have dry conditions, the soil insects are absolutely going to go away or you're not going to have them, because they have remarkable ability to survive even under difficult conditions. Some cases will be later, some cases the populations will be down a little bit, but I guarantee that they'll be there. And with that in mind, under dry conditions, it is usually more difficult to control soil insects because they're deeper in the soil, and when you have dry conditions, the insecticide tends to bind to the clay particles, to the organic matter, and when it's dry and sunny, you get more UV degradation, more volatilization. So as a result, you get a poor level of control under dry conditions. And one thing that we'll see, if you have soil insects and you get a good period of rainfall, you will almost always see a lot of damage after that because the rainfall and the increased soil moisture will move them near the surface. This is especially true with mole crickets. And oftentimes we see a resurgence of fire ant mounds after a real dry period. So keep in mind that dry weather generally has a negative impact, but it doesn't mean they're going to go away. It doesn't mean you're going to have them. In some cases, it just means they're going to occur a little bit later. In a later video this summer, I will do a video on the impact of dry weather on surface insects such as Bermuda grass mites, chinch bugs, and insects like armyworms. We'll talk a little bit about that. Hope that helps.